call my office tomorrow. I'll connect you with Rob Barrow, a colleague of mine.
It has to be you.
Coop.
You're the best there is. You have to take this case.
As a friend of Sam's, it's a potential conflict of interest.
Okay, Kat, I don't think I'm being clear. When I say you have to take this case, it's not me asking. I'm telling you, you're going to take my case because if you don't, I will tell Dom that you're.
Hello, hello. So I haven't made a video, or rather, I haven't posted a video on YouTube in a long time. And I have had this video sitting on my, laptop for like a month now. And I hold this video so dear to my heart. So I wanted to just take my time when preparing this video, when editing the video, and having the voiceover for it and everything. I needed to be very settled and just take my time with it so that I could also live through these moments again. And the video is a very special one for me because it basically highlights my first flight moments towards and the actual flight moments towards my first flight and the actual flight, my first international flight, which was going to be from South Africa, Cape Town, South Africa to Nairobi, Kenya, using the Ethiopian Airlines. And I would have a short layover in Addis Ababa, Ethiopia. So this is the night before when I was just trying to pack my things into the two suitcases that are in frame. And it was dawning on me that I had accumulated so many things over the period of time I had stayed in Cape Town. So I had stayed in Cape Town for nearly 9 months. And it's incredible the number of things you can accumulate in 9 months. Also, I think I was just laughing over the fact that I had initially come here to visit, like it was supposed to be a short stay, and it ended up being a way longer stay, obviously, with plans to make it even longer until, something came up and I had to just go to Kenya to sort it out personally. And I was trying to figure out what I'd need, like what I felt will be super necessary to have with me, and what I will be okay with if it happened to, just stay back in city. And I think it was also a moment of decluttering and detaching from the things that I had that I wouldn't be carrying with me to Kenya again. And it was also a moment of reflection of the period I was in, South Africa, the friends I made, the moments I had, the experiences I had, the fun I had, and whatnot. Cause I had no clue like how long I was gonna be back in Kenya. So the bags in frame currently are the bags that I traveled with from Kenya to South Africa. It's a black backpack and then the checked duffel bag. And if you've been on my channel, or if you've scrolled down enough, you'll see that I did travel to South Africa by road. It was an 8 days, sorry, 8 days, 7 nights travel. A friend of the family I was staying with in South Africa had gone to Kenya. He now lives in South Africa. So he had gone to Kenya to pick his car. So he was driving it to South Africa. And I so happened to be in Nairobi. I so happened to be uh, not committed somewhere at the moment. And I was more than excited to just, make the road trip and go see the world. And the two bags had efficiently or sufficiently, served me for the travel. But then now I wasn't able to even pack in the two bags to travel back home because I'd accumulated so many things. Also considering how winter got me while I was in Cape Town. So I had to buy some winter clothes. So obviously I had so many things I needed or wanted to carry with me back home, but I left so many things at the same time. So this was a very, nerve-wracking moment of packing, unpacking, organizing, reflecting and everything, while still being very exciting because I'd be taking a flight in the next few hours. So yeah, come along with me as we go through my thoughts towards my first flight. Yeah.
So are the boots going to fit?
Not in these bags. Unless tuseme nani alete akuja na some. So fast forward to the next day. Early in the morning, I headed out of the house after a prayer and a word or two, and my auntie was kind enough to take me to the airport. It was a very warm day, so I tried to dress light so that I could be super comfortable on the flight. And uh, these are the bags that I was trying to fix together just before the flight. This is us at the airport already. And one thing about me when traveling is I really, really try to travel easy. I won't say light, but I'll say easy. So whatever I feel I won't use on the go, I'll just pack it away. So that will be in the suitcases. And then whatever I feel I'd need while on the move, I'd have close to me. So that will be in the carry on. I really try to fix the stuff. And also, one thing I see people when they take flight is how they wrap cling around the bags. And I said, I am gonna do the same thing. So I had carried cling with me in the car so that I could wrap the bags. And so here we were just in the airport, and I really was excited about everything. I've been to the airport, to the city airport, so many times because my aunt has a tours company that I work in, and we would go to the airport so many times to pick up clients and to drop off clients after they've done their tours. And so I've been to the airport so many times, but then I had to record this whole thing because we weren't going this far into the airport. We just go to the peak pick and drop point in the airport where we'd pick the clients or drop them off. Like it was really quick. Like it was literally just a pop in and out of the airport when picking clients. So I hadn't gone this far into the airport. So I just wanted to try and capture everything. This was us trying to find the Ethiopian airline check-in point. I did take my first flight with Ethiopian Airlines, and then we did find them here, I guess, right? And the queue wasn't that long, so I'm also grateful to my aunt who took me through the whole process because well she's done it before, and she took me all the way to the check-in, all the way to the boarding gate. Like she just made sure I was okay before she headed back to the house. So this is the queue that we found at the Ethiopian airline check-in point. It wasn't a long queue, so we just literally were taking the two bags for them to weigh, and then I'd be on my way to the boarding gate. I try to also be there a bit early so that I wouldn't feel rushed through this whole process of checking in and whatnot. So we had time to just hang out at the airport afterwards. And I was just asking her questions because at this point I was like, I don't have a ticket yet. So what point am I getting the ticket and stuff like that? But anyways, um yeah, I was excited, honestly. I think at this point I was so ready to just see the planes. To just see the plane that I'd be boarding. I think at this point that's all I was just ready for. Like the sound. Hii inapimiwa hapa ama mbele? Eh, carry on. Oh, zingine wapimangi. Jolfa ameandika 7. Wanajua huyu amepima mahali. I wish the bags were big and nibebea nchi hizo viatu. So So hiyo boarding time inamaanisha I'm supposed to be at the gate hiyo time.
Utaenda tu utangoja. So when it's time, watamwambia the Kenya line is going by this gate. Yeah. So ukienda tu huko, uende kwa hiyo gate utapata kunaandikanga hivi
Yeah, mama. In the bags, there's no carry-ons and stuff, ne?
There's no?
Sorry, ma. In your carry-on, you have no lotions or perfumes that are more than 100 mils.
Do you have any lotion?
I have lotion also. So eventually I did get past the luggage check-in. My bags weighed okay. At some point I wish they were bigger so I could carry more, but that's cool. And this was me and my auntie parting ways. So we were at the boarding gate where we had to just part ways. And I was just asking, I was asking, some questions about what was beyond the boarding gate because I didn't, you couldn't see beyond the boarding gate. And she was just letting me know how there's a lounge, you just go and chill. And that's where the duty free shops were in case you needed anything that I would need on the flight and whatnot. And then this is me past the boarding gate where I could now see the planes and the ones that I was gonna go and board. I'm about to board a flight for the first time in my few years on Earth. I'm at the Cape Town International Airport and I'm boarding a plane to Addis Ababa for a layover and then to Nairobi, Kenya. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm thrilled. Indeed, I was super excited about, finally just getting on the plane. And it seemed like it was never gonna happen, honestly, because I'd been walking for a while, just going through the check-ins and whatnot, and then okay, so finally this is me after past the boarding gate, and my bag had been ransacked actually at the boarding gate because I had carried with me my toner, my shea butter, and my hair oil. I did not know that I wouldn't be allowed to have this in my carry-on. I wish I knew. I could have just packed them in the suitcases. So if you carry anything more than 100 milliliters, it doesn't matter if you have used it or not, as long as the container is more than as long as the container is written more than 100 milliliters, they're gonna have you remove it and throw it. But luckily, my aunt was still in the airport, so I just called her to come and pick them, so they could get used back at the house. So this is me going to get my passport stamped. So basically, this is the immigration point. And the lady here she was so nice actually. She was so nice. She engaged me. She was asking a lot of questions about Kenya and whatnot. And I encouraged her to come visit Kenya. So, this is the lounge area, and there the duty free shops are as well. Unfortunately, I didn't capture the duty free shops. They looked pretty nice and fancy and whatnot. I actually thought that things are cheaper at the duty free shops, but finally they are not. So, if you're able to buy your stuff from outside the airport, just do so. If you're thinking of getting gifts and souvenirs at the duty free shops, you're in for a shock. Anyway, except for food, obviously, because you can't pass the boarding gate with food, you will have to buy it from the duty free shops. But for gifts and souvenirs, man, just get them from outside the airport and pack them in your suitcases. So at the lounge area, at least I did see the aeroplane that I was going to board. Again, I was so excited, and I was trying to take so many photos and videos of the planes for my nephew Curtis, who so loves aeroplanes. I just wanted him to get a glimpse of, what I saw on that day as I was going to board my flight. So that's the plane that I boarded, the Ethiopian plane right there. I didn't even know it was a Dreamliner. I think uh, it was until I showed my nephew the videos and photos of the of the whole trip that he pointed out it's a Dreamliner and not an Airbus or a Boeing and stuff like that. Like I literally had no clue. I just need a plane, yo. And then minutes to just boarding the plane, I sought out someone in the queue to take a photo of me for my first flight. And then we got in the plane, and I have created a separate video for the flight and whatnot. Please look out for part 2. Bye.